Hi, it's Sandy Wyllie. Welcome to my mental health channel, where I wipe away the stigma of mental illness by talking about my own personal experiences and struggles having borderline personality disorder. I also talk about having post-traumatic stress disorder, anxiety disorder and anxiety attacks, depression, narcissism, bipolar, schizophrenia. I talk about the different therapies out there: DBT, CBT, IFS, psychoanalytical, psychodynamic. I talk about my unethical psychologist that sexually, physically, and verbally abused me. I give the link to all my books about my past histories of being a patient of almost 20 years. That's a long time. But I come on only as a former patient. I am not a licensed therapist. I do not hold a degree in psychology, so I cannot diagnose you or give you a professional opinion. All I ask in return of you is your kindness and respect in the comments. Please be kind to me. Be kind to other people who comment. We don't need to agree on everything. Variety is the spice of life after all, but we do need to agree on kindness and respect. I'll have no tolerance for anything less than that. If you're new to my channel, welcome, welcome. Hit that subscribe button over there on the right-hand side, right there on the bottom of your screen. That way you can be notified right away whenever I make a new video. If you like what you see, hit that thumbs up like button so I know which videos to do more of and which ones didn't go over so well. I welcome all of your comments. I appreciate if you share your own struggles and experiences. You don't have to. I'm not trying to pressure you, but I will answer the comments. I don't ignore my subscribers at all. I read all comments and answer all comments. And so today is more of an inspirational video, but it's a mental health video just the same. And I want to get this message across to you on the YouTube, on the airways, through all of social medias. Today, right now, right here, right now, this minute, this second where you're sitting, watching this video, today is the first day of the rest of your life. It doesn't matter what happened in the past. We can't reset time. We can't go back in the time machine, okay? Get in it and go back and, undo those things that we regret doing. I have a lot of them, and I'll talk about that. I regret doing pornography. I deeply, deeply regret it. I feel really shameful. I feel, well, it's part of my past. I mean, when I say I feel shameful, I'm ashamed that I did it. But if someone were to see, like, there's pornography of me out there on the social medias that I have not put up. Whoever put it up illegally, against my wishes. But you know what? That was my past. It's what happened, what I did. I'm not proud of it, but, I'm not going to get all worked up about it, So what? So, I wish I didn't go to therapy, or at least I wish I didn't stay in therapies like with Dr. Richard Geis and Dr. James Barbaria, who sexually abused me. I wish I was strong enough back then to get out of those therapies before I was really traumatized by what happened. I wish I was strong enough to get out when the red flags were there and I didn't listen to them. I didn't pay heed. But what I'm trying to say here is we all have those regrets that we wish we could undo things that we did. But we can't. We don't have a time machine. But here's the thing. We can do things that we regret not doing. Certain things, not everything. You can say, well, I regret that I didn't tell my mother I loved her before she died. I didn't. I hated my mother. Some things are not within our control, okay? God grant me the serenity to accept the things, I cannot change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. So, what I'm trying to say by today is the first day of the rest of your life is that we can't like go back in the time machine and change those things. But what we can change is from this day forward what we do. That's what we can change. So say that your mother is alive and you regret that, in order not to regret that you didn't tell her you love her before she died and she's still alive, well, you have that chance. See? The things that you have no control over, God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change. You need the serenity to accept that I cannot change it. If the person is no longer here, I cannot tell them that. But change the things I can. So right now, you can do those things so that, in the future, when you look back to right now, meaning today is the first day of the rest of your life, that you won't have those regrets, okay? Because you decided that you're going to go full steam and do those things that, you want to do. So that in the future, jump ahead 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years from now, you won't look back on today. What is this, July 7th? 2024 and say, oh, you know what? I wish I would apologize to that person I hurt. I wish I would have told this person I love them, but now it's too late because they died. I wish I had forgave this person. I wish I had traveled more, instead of being, saving every penny for retirement. And now the doctor gives me 2 months to live, and I'm only 61. And I never got to see the places I wanted to because I was saving every dime for retirement that's never going to come because I'm never going to see retirement. Do those things now, because I said this, I think in the last video or one of the videos, that tomorrow is not promise. Today is present. What is a present? It's a gift. Today is the present. A present is a gift. Today is a gift. So don't put off doing anything. Just don't put it off, Don't say, well, I'll do it when, I'll do this when I get this amount of money in the bank. I'll do this when I'm this age. I'm only 25 years old, let's just wait till, I'm 35 to get married and have kids. If that's what you really want to do, you know what I mean? Because don't think that, you don't know what's going to happen in your life. You just don't know, okay? You don't know. That's why I'm a firm believer in not putting anything off. If you want to do something, you need to do it. Don't use excuses why you can't do it. Like if you want to write a book, say, well, I want to write a book, but it will never get published. You know how difficult it is to get a book published and how expensive it is? Editors, agents. Yes, I 100% agree with you. It's very, very costly and time consuming to get a book traditionally published. But now today you can self-publish a book. You don't need any money to self-publish a book. Okay? Only a computer. And you can have someone help you with it, Like I have my husband. You can get a friend. You can get your boyfriend. You can, you can get a college student to help. You know what I mean? To put it together if you don't know, if you're not computer savvy. So it doesn't cost anything. So there's no reason not to publish your book. You don't need, a traditional publisher. Most of them do reject manuscripts. Most of them do. It's very, very, very difficult to get a book published. But anyone can self-publish, And there's a lot of famous, like 50 Shades of Grey. She self-published first. That author, the one who wrote Harry Potter, she self-published. There's like a ton of them that got rich famous, and they self-publish first. So, you know, if you want to get things done, there's lots of ways. If you want to travel and see, I went to Paris. Paris was always on my bucket list, and I never went to Paris because of my fear of flying, okay? And I said, that's ridiculous, you know? I'm getting old. I'm not going to be able to live forever, right? I'm going to go to Paris. I'm going to get on that plane, that 7-hour flight. 7 hours down, 7 hours back, 14 hours on a plane. And I'm telling you, I am petrified of flying. When I mean petrified, if the plane does a little jounce like that, just like this, a little jounce, because turbulence happens all the time. You can't escape it. If you fly, you're going to hit turbulence. I get hysterical. I'm like clawing my husband's hand, and I'm going, we're going to crash, we're going to crash. But I got on that plane, and I flew all those hours with no sleep, you know, sitting in a chair like sardines, crowded in with total strangers that I hate. I hate being around strangers, and I hate being in like very crowded, cramped conditions. And I hate flying. But I did it, you know. I didn't want to look back and say I wanted to go to Paris, and I missed out. Paris is the #1 country visited in the world. Do you know that? It's the most visited country in the world. Is Paris. Is the first. It's the #1. It's the most visited country in the world. But that's not why I wanted to go. I think a lot of people would love to go to Paris, Rome. I want to go to Rome. You know, do these things. I went on cruises. Do these things. I did these things. I went on cruises when we had no money. You know, cruises aren't expensive as you think. Not today. Maybe back in the day they were. But what I'm trying to get you to see here is today is the first day of the rest of your life. So don't put off. You know, today is a present. It's a gift given to you. There's no guarantee of tomorrow. So you might think you have time. You might think you have time. But you might not have time. You might, you might not. And you don't want to have those regrets that you should have done things that you really wanted to do. So I look at myself and I say, what do I haven't done that I really want? Okay, what is, like, for me, what is it like if I was to die today that I would regret, oh geez, I didn't do this, you know? And I wanted to be a mother more than anything in the world. And I have 2 beautiful sons. One is severely brain damaged, but I still love him, and he's still a joy, a complete joy, and a complete fulfillment in my life, despite he has the mind of a 2-year-old from contact and pneumococcal meningitis and encephalitis, which destroyed a good part of his brain. But despite that, he's still a complete. I couldn't see my life without him. He's a complete joy. He's a complete pleasure. He brings so much into my life. He brings so much joy into my life. It's like, you know, I feel like we're soulmates. I feel like we're, you know, I'm really deeply attached to him, and just like it's incredible, the bond that I feel for him. And you know, you can feel a bond. I know people who feel a bond for their pets. I know a woman who I'm friendly with on Facebook, who, like, her dog, and a woman, one of my neighbors I was best friends with, whose dog died, like, I don't know, over 10 years ago, and they still put pictures and still cry and still say this was my pet's birthday. I mean, in other words, their pets were like their children. They weren't just like animals. You know, these people saw their pets as if they were humans. Some people do. Now, I personally don't. I have had pets all my life. I've had dogs and I've had cats. And I don't feel that a family pet is like a human being, like a child. But some people do, you know. And I'm not putting you down if you're either way. Either way, you know. I'm not, you feel what you feel, right? But what I'm trying to say here is, what are you going to do with your one wonderful life? What are you waiting for? That's the real question here. This I ask of you, and I want you to ponder this. What are you waiting for?